Hey guys, Jim here with another video for you. This is the final Shocktober episode, volume 27, The Dirty Dozen, my 12 least favorite horror films in my Blu-ray collection. But before we begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about these films. I decided to start off with this little focus on I love horror because, again, it is Halloween today as I film this, Halloween morning. I want to wish everyone a happy and safe Halloween. I hope everyone just has a wonderful day. I want to preface this little video right away. This one might not be safe for all audiences. I decided that on my little finale for Halloween, I'm going to do my, like I said, 12 least favorite films. Not necessarily counting them down, okay? So it's not like a countdown from my 12th least to my number one least. It's just, excuse me, they're all equally pieces of shit in my opinion, okay? We'll get into it more as we get into it. But again, I wanted to give everybody a little bit of a warning. Not for children, not for work. Chances are I'm going to be using some language in this because I talked to my good friend Kenny last night on Instagram about this video and asked him whether he thought I should keep it clean or go on a rant. And he says, hey, he loves my rants. So if you don't like this one, go on over to Kenny's channel and complain to him. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. I also want to mention that Kenny, I, and Sean will be having our next episode of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. That will be this coming Tuesday night, Election Day, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to remind everyone, regardless of your political affiliation, if any, please vote. It is an extremely precious thing that a lot of people take for granted. Like I said, I could care less who you support, if anybody, but make your voice heard. Please vote. Okay, enough of that. Like I said, we're going to get into these movies, and I'll give you some reasons why I feel about the way that I feel about them. The first one is so bad, I forgot to include it in my horror movie collection videos. That shows you how much of a piece of shit this movie is. And I'm talking about Bug from 1975. I completely forgot this one when I did my 70s video. And this movie's quite forgettable. It's a William Castle produced movie, directed by the same guy who did Jaws 2. Let's just cut to the chase. This movie sucks. It's a total piece of shit. Mutant cockroaches that start fires. You could barely see the cockroaches. This movie sucks. It's about as fun as a colostomy. It's just bad. Oh, don't get me going on this piece of shit, though. Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Starring Dennis Miller and Corey Feldman, among others. Directed by Gilbert Adler. My God, I hate this fucking movie so much. It is such a piece of shit. I know a lot of people love it. I have no idea why. Unless you saw this as a kid on cable and loved it then, there's no reason to like this movie. It is so fucking bad in every way. The acting's bad. The script is bad. The effects are bad. Everything is bad about this movie except for some of the tits on the vampires. Sorry about the sexist comment, but it's true. This movie's a piece of shit. This one is a hot, steaming pile of shit. The Incredible Melting Man. Again, like I said in the earlier videos, the only redeeming quality about this movie is the effects by Rick Baker. But other than that, this movie is just horribly uneven, ineptly acted, ineptly shot. It's a piece of crap in every way. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's like watching paint dry in between effects. I mean, it's just, at one point, A guy sits down and starts getting back and forth with his wife about cereal, and it lasts 5 fucking minutes. I mean, this movie is just ridiculous. It is so bad. Okay, now we got 3 movies in a row that I knew going in sucked. I didn't remember how much, but the only reason why I bought them was is because they came in cool steel books, and I never do that. And I'm kicking myself in the ass for doing it now. I won't get rid of them because, again, once I buy something, I'll keep it. But first, Galaxy of Terror. As I've said on several videos, shitty movie, cool steelbook. And Forbidden World. Shitty movie, cool steelbook. And I actually really do like the artwork on this one, but my God, these movies are terrible. They are both so bad, even by Roger Corman standards. As a matter of fact, they even use the same sets for both movies. And I mean, you watch them back to back, it's like watching Deja Vu. I mean, yeah, these movies are friggin' horrible. About as much fun as a circumcision via chainsaw. I mean, just painful. And this one too. Lair of the White Worm. This one's my Vestron Steelbook. I just got this one. This one's one of my more recent editions. And again, I remembered this movie kind of. I thought it was much better than it is. I watched this when I bought it, and oh my God, it is laughably bad. It is so fucking ridiculous. I mean, Amanda Donahoe, she's hot as hell. Even when she's got the vampire fangs and shit going. But, oh my God, this movie's ridiculous. Especially when they got these people possessed by snakes. They're walking around like they're having a conniption fit. Laughably bad. I mean, this is one of those movies you got to see to believe. It's just horribly bad. Now, this one was part of a 2-pack. Neither one are really good. But the first one's a classic compared to this piece of shit. Waxwork 2, Lost in Time, directed by Anthony Hickox, starring Zach Galligan from Gremlins and Alexander Godunov from Die Hard. And believe me, both of those movies are a hell of a lot better than this piece of shit. Again, didn't really remember this movie that much. I thought the first one was better than it is, and it's not. But that one at least has David Warner in it. This one, oh my God. It as pleasant as opening an umbrella up your ass. I mean, just painful. Oh, God. Then we've got The First Purge. I'd like to purge this one right out of my system because this movie sucks. Marissa Tomei is great. There's one guy in this movie that's creepy as hell. If they could have just focused on him for the entire movie, I might have actually really enjoyed this movie. As it is, my God, this movie's boring. I mean, it's just fucking boring. It's just, ugh. Enough said. Speaking of boring, Jesus Christ himself couldn't help us get through this piece of shit. The Omen, the remake. Directed by John Moore, starring Julia Stiles, Liev Schreiber, and Mia Farrow. Cash grab. I mean, it was released on June 6, 2006. Of course it was a cash grab, and I was one of the people that actually went and saw it theatrically and almost walked out. Not quite as irritating as the Psycho remake, which I do not own and never will own. But my God, what a slog. I mean, what a slog. It's just as much fun as masturbating with a sock lined with sandpaper. I mean, just horrible. We saved these last 3 for last, and I think these probably are the 3 in my collection that piss me off more than any. Here we go. Phantasm Ravager. Now, I know a lot of people don't like any of the Phantasm films, and that's fine. I get it, okay? But compared to the other 4 movies, this is the worst movie ever made. And it might be one of the worst movies ever made regardless. I know some people are watching this that are actually fans of this franchise and are saying, okay, Jim, this movie's not good, but you're being overly harsh. No, I am not. The effects on this movie look like they were from a Macintosh computer. Don Coscarelli didn't even direct this one. He co-wrote the script and he produced it. But oh my God, this movie's bad. The reason why this one pisses me off more than any other is because this was the movie that Angus Scrimm went out on. And I love Angus Scrimm. He was one of those iconic horror figures to me as a kid who grew up in the 70s and 80s. I mean, Phantasm shook me to the core. Phantasm 2 is one of my favorite sequels of all time. The rest of the movies are hit and miss, but this movie's an abomination. It's just absolutely fucking terrible. Okay, here we go. I know this one's got a lot of fans, but I've already ranted on this movie a couple of times, and guess what? I'm going to rant on it some more. Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Oh my God, I hate this fucking movie so much. I hate it so much. Adam Marcus ought to have a terminal case of genital warts after coming up with this piece of shit, because my God, outside of the opening 10 minutes, like I said in the previous videos, I will give credit where credit is due. The beginning of this movie is phenomenal. It is. It is so much fun, okay? It starts off just like every other Friday the 13th movie where this beautiful woman's going to, for whatever reason, be in danger, decides to take a shower and then runs through the woods naked while Jason's chasing her. But the payoff to that scene is phenomenal. I mean, it really is. And when I saw this theatrically, I was in for the ride. I was like, oh my God, this movie's going to be so awesome. And then it just died and went to hell and took you with it. This movie's a piece of shit. It's a ripoff of The Hidden. It has nothing to do with any of the other Friday the 13th movies. And that tag at the end where Freddy's glove comes out is just fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. The only reason why this movie exists was to keep the franchise alive long enough for them to get Freddy versus Jason off the ground. And quite frankly, that movie ain't good enough for this one to exist, and to a lesser degree Jason X, because I know a lot of you hate Jason X with a passion. At least Jason X is fun. This movie's a piece of shit. But I saved this one for last, since this is the last Halloween episode. Let's end it with Halloween Ends. Again, kind of like the previous movie I just mentioned, Jason Goes to Hell. The opening scene of this movie is phenomenal. The setup. I gotta admit, I did not expect to see that little bastard fall off the balcony and squish on the ground the way he did. And I mean, that shot shocked me. It really did. And I was like, wow. It's all the bullshit that happens afterwards. You know, people bitched 40 years ago when Halloween 3 Season of the Witch came out because it didn't have anything to do with Michael Myers. You know what? This fucking movie doesn't have anything to do with Michael Myers either. I mean, yes, it does, but it doesn't. I'm sorry. You trying to tell me that this kid is able to overpower Michael Myers for most of the movie, and then for some reason he gets his mojo back? And I mean, this movie sucks. And again, the thing that pisses me off more than anything, kind of like Ravager, okay, that was the one that Angus Scrimm went out on. This is the Halloween movie that Jamie Lee Curtis went out on. I mean, really? You know, yes, this movie's better than Resurrection. Guess what? I don't own Resurrection. Okay? This movie is an abomination. I'm sorry. It just is. I would rather watch Evil Dies Tonight again than watch this piece of shit. I mean, I'm sorry. This movie sucks. If you're a fan, hey, more power to you. You know, I'm glad. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I truly mean that. Because, like I said, there's movies that I love that people absolutely hate. And I never give them shit about it because tastes are subjective, okay? But this movie tastes about as good as an oral bowel movement. I mean, it's just bad. But that's the way we're going to end Shocktober. I'm hoping I didn't lose too many of you along the way. I'm sorry if my language got a little bit over the top, but you know what? I'm passionate when it comes to movies, and especially horror movies. I'm passionate about the ones I love. I'm equally passionate about the ones I hate. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, leave comments below. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in for this series of videos for Shocktober. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of fun. But to be honest, I'm going to slow down. I'm not going to be filming as much content in the next couple of weeks. I am still going to be dropping content. I'm still going to be dropping by other people's channels and leaving lots of comments. And I am still going to be, of course, participating in the live chat with Kenny and Sean. But like I said, I just need to slow down a little bit on some of the content and focus a little more on the family again in the short term. But my channel is not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere as much as some of you would like me to like to see me go. But I just wanted to stress again how much I appreciate each and every one of you. So I hope every one of you has a wonderful, safe, and happy Halloween. We'll catch you on the next one.